And this story comes from The Economist. It reads, thousands of Africans are fighting for Russia in Ukraine. African governments are belatedly trying to stop them. And I'll just read the first paragraph. Slowly, half-heartedly, the soldiers start to dance. A tall man speaking Russian, who appears to be their commander, laughs and calls for the music to be turned up, urging the rest of the group to dance with him. Victor Odhiambo, a 28-year-old Kenyan, who shot a video of the scene on his phone, said this was the day before his army unit on the front line in eastern Ukraine in July. Mr. Odhiambo said all the soldiers seen dancing in the videos were soon to be killed in battle. Apart from the commander, all were African. Mr. Odhiambo is one of thousands who have fought in the war in Ukraine, where both sides have used foreign fighters since Vladimir Putin launched the full-scale invasion in 2022. At first, when I read this story, I didn't even know what to make of it, other than the fact that you have Africans fighting European wars again. Reminds me of World War I, World War II. And I could even see an off-ramp, to use the occupant in the White House famous phrase, for Africans in this cause. I'm like, what do we even get of it? Comrade, your thoughts?
Okay, so obviously, this is another indication of, first of all, the irony, right?
Yeah.
That now you have African mercenaries, fighting European wars. And in the 1960s, you had European mercenaries
fighting African wars
to try to sustain neo-colonial regimes, such as Mobutu and Shombe and Kasavubu in the Congo. They call them soldiers of fortune back in the day. I think there was a notorious one, Bob Bernard, a Irish or
Conrad O'Hara.
Right, exactly.
The Mad Dog.
Mike, they call him, right?
The Mad Dog.
Right. So now you have the reverse. Whoever believed that in the 21st century, given the history, the Soviet Union, the once mighty Soviet Union, who was the one that was actually providing arms for revolutionary movements and guerrilla armies on the continent in Africa. And now you have African soldiers fighting on behalf of the former Soviet Union, which of course is a shell of its past self, right? That's number one. Number two, it shows you once again the failure of African governments to deliver. These folks are fighting without being familiar with the issues at all, but all the fighting is because they are hoping for income. They're hoping for income. Is the sort of situation comparable to Africans that are going to the Middle Eastern countries right now as domestic employees. I hate to use the word servants. I never use that. No human being can be designated as a servant to other human beings, but as domestic employees, knowing full well that many of them are abused, many are tortured physically, sexually, and many are even killed. And yet you still have thousands coming there from Africa to work in the Middle East because of a sense of desperation that they have no other alternative source of employment in their countries. As I keep reminding us and our viewers and listeners, when Africans drown in the Mediterranean just to make it to Europe, to work in toilets, in kitchens, in those farms in southern Italy, it gives you an indication of how dire the economic condition in their own countries are. So this is just one example of that desperation, looking for income, willing to go there to be thrown on the front lines as cannon fodder, because that's exactly what happens